So this is kind of funny, but I'm just going to say it. I won't say my friend's name because you know who you are. But I went and saw this movie with him today, and he was like, hey, I want to go to the movies with you. I was like, okay, come along. And so basically, we went and saw this movie, and we were sitting down, and the previews were starting. And I looked over to him, I was like, by the way, you saw the first one, right? And he was like, first one? This is a sequel? I was like, yeah, the first one's called Becky. And then he was like, what movie was that? I was like, Kevin James was bald, and he played a serious role. He's like, oh yeah. And then he got up and left because he didn't see the movie. I watched it alone.
Here's Johnny. My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Expecto Patronum!
The Wrath of Becky stars Lulu Wilson and Seann William Scott, and is about 2 years after she escaped a violent attack on her family. Becky attempts to rebuild her life in the care of an older woman. Now, this is a brand new sequel indie movie that I don't think a lot of people are going to be talking about, but this movie is so entertaining for what it is. I recommend a lot of people go see this movie because once my friend left the theater, there was no one in this theater, like no one. I was the only one. So I gotta sit there and enjoy this bloodbath of the movie. Now, if you haven't seen the first Becky movie, it's actually pretty good. It's a little underrated movie that I liked. I watched it once, and the only reason I watched it is because Kevin James was playing a serious role, and I was like, I want to see that. But the standout was Lulu Wilson as Becky. Now she has returned, and in this movie, she's got another bunch of dickheads, douchebags. She pisses them off at a restaurant. They go home. They complain to Seann William Scott, and they go after her, and it's Home Alone in a bloody fashion. And you know what? I had fun with this movie. This movie is ridiculous. This movie would not be for everybody. It even pokes fun at some political viewpoints that I will not ever get into on this channel. But all I'm gonna say is this movie does it in a fun way to where you're having a good time with these bloody kills and Lulu Wilson's performance in this movie. I was just sitting there smiling because, again, Lulu Wilson, she is a star. She's so young. She's younger than me, and she is just so good in this movie. I think she's better in this movie than she was in the first one, because the first one, the big talk was Kevin James, and for this movie, you have Seann William Scott playing the villainous role, and I will give him credit. He is not comedic at all, and I love seeing that for him because we all know him as Stifler, but in this movie he plays just like a big army dickhead guy, and he is there to kill her and ruin her day. But guess what? She's gonna home alone that crap, and once that stuff kicks in, the movie just goes, and it's an hour and 20 minutes. It flies by. There's some great editing, great cinematography, great color correction, great performances, and literally if I had to just any issues, just some things that are just stupid. There's just some dumb things, and by the end, I didn't love the ending. I like the ending. I definitely like it, but in the end, Lulu Wilson as Becky is the reason to this movie. She's just got energy that soaks through the screen. It's one of those performances. She is so good in this role. I want to see her do more stuff, but if she wants to keep doing these kind of movies, especially with Becky as the character, I'm down for it because this was another banger of a fun movie. I definitely recommend it if you get a chance to go see it in theaters, but I will say, if you have political viewpoints, just know things are said in this movie. I'm going to give The Wrath of Becky a B+. Also, Seann William Scott, please do more serious stuff. Just do more stuff. Honestly, do another comedy. I love that guy. I grew up watching the American Pie movies. It's one of those franchises I wasn't allowed to watch, but I knew who he was from that series. And Dude, Where's My Car? I love Seann William Scott. He was great in this movie. Loved seeing him. This movie was fun. I know a lot of you probably haven't heard of this movie, but I recommend it. And if you guys enjoyed this movie review, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.